What if I told you that the food on your plate could help solve climate change, protect endangered species, and ensure a better future for generations to come? The way we grow, eat, and think about food is changing, and it needs to. The stakes couldn't be higher. By 2050, the world's population will reach 10 billion people. That's 10 billion mouths to feed, 10 billion lives to sustain, and a planet that can only take so much. The big question is, how do we feed everyone without destroying the very ecosystems we depend on? Today, we're diving into the future of food. From high-tech farms that grow lettuce in skyscrapers to ancient grains making a comeback, and even lab-grown meat that could end factory farming, we'll explore the innovations shaping how we feed the world sustainably. And along the way, you'll discover small, actionable changes you can make to be part of the solution. This is more than a video. It's a conversation about our future. Let's start by understanding the scale of the challenge. Every year, we already produce enough food to feed 10 billion people, yet nearly a third of it is wasted. At the same time, millions of people go hungry, and agriculture continues to strain the planet's resources. Here's why this matters. Agriculture uses 70% of the world's freshwater, contributes to 30% of greenhouse gas emissions, and drives deforestation, destroying critical habitats for wildlife. In short, the way we grow food today isn't just unsustainable, it's dangerous. Take, for example, a rainforest cleared to make room for soy or palm oil plantations. In just 1 year, that deforested land will release more carbon into the atmosphere than it would have absorbed over decades. The damage is immediate, and the benefits are fleeting. Here's a staggering number. By 2050, we'll need to produce 70% more food to meet global demand. If we stick to our current methods, we'll exceed the planet's environmental limits long before then. This isn't just a future problem, it's happening right now. But where there are challenges, there are also opportunities. Let's explore some of the groundbreaking innovations that are transforming how we grow food. Imagine walking into a building in the middle of a city. No soil, no sunlight, no pesticides, yet inside, fresh produce is growing all around you. This is vertical farming, one of the most exciting innovations in sustainable agriculture. These farms use 95% less water, no harmful chemicals, and produce food year-round, regardless of weather conditions. In one urban center, a vertical farm is growing enough greens to feed 10,000 people using just 1 acre of land. Compare that to traditional farming, which would need 40 times the space to produce the same amount of food. These futuristic farms are bringing fresh produce closer to cities, reducing transportation emissions and food waste. But it's not all about high-tech solutions. In many parts of the world, farmers are blending ancient practices with modern technology to boost productivity while preserving the environment. In sub-Saharan Africa, for example, intercropping, planting different crops together, is helping to improve soil health, reduce pests, and increase yields. Regenerative agriculture, which focuses on restoring soil health, can trap significant amounts of carbon while increasing crop yields by up to 20%. It's a win-win for farmers and the planet. From skyscraper farms to resilient smallholder farmers, the way we grow food is evolving. But what about the food itself? Let's look at what might be on our plates in the near future. What if I told you that the future of meat doesn't involve animals at all? Lab-grown meat, made from cultured animal cells, is becoming a reality. It uses 99% less land and emits 90% fewer greenhouse gases compared to traditional livestock farming. Imagine enjoying a burger that tastes exactly like the real thing, but was grown in a lab without harming a single animal. It's not just a dream. It's already being served in test markets worldwide. But it's not just meat that's changing. Plant-based alternatives are booming, from protein-packed legumes to seafood substitutes made from algae. These innovations are providing sustainable options for everything from milk to fish to eggs. Meanwhile, ancient grains like millet, quinoa, and teff are making a comeback. These crops require less water, thrive in harsh climates, and offer higher nutritional value than many modern staples like wheat or rice. Here's a surprising fact. Shifting just 10% of global meat consumption to plant-based or lab-grown alternatives could free up enough land to cover the size of Australia. That's the potential of rethinking what's on our plates. So, we've looked at how we grow and what we eat. But there's one more critical piece to solving the food crisis: the role of policies and individual choices. Innovation alone isn't enough to solve the challenges facing our food systems. While technology and new farming practices provide hope, we need policies that create systemic change and individual choices that ripple outward to transform the way we produce, distribute, and consume food. Governments play a critical role in shaping the future of food. Subsidies can encourage farmers to adopt sustainable practices, such as regenerative agriculture or water-efficient irrigation systems. Policies that prioritize local food production can reduce the carbon footprint of transportation while supporting regional economies. For example, some countries are introducing incentives for farmers to grow climate-resilient crops or implement carbon sequestration methods in their fields. Others are enacting laws to reduce food waste at the industrial level, requiring grocery stores to donate unsold food to those in need rather than sending it to landfills. Take a city that implemented mandatory composting for all households. In just 1 year, they reduced landfill waste by 30%, diverted millions of tons of organic material, and created nutrient-rich compost that farmers use to improve their soil health. This kind of policy doesn't just benefit the environment. It creates a circular system that benefits everyone involved. And here's a staggering fact. Nearly 1/3 of all food produced globally, over 1.3 billion tons, is wasted each year. That's enough food to feed 1.2 billion people, more than the entire population of Africa. If food waste were a country, it would be the third largest emitter of greenhouse gases after China and the United States. The solutions to this problem aren't complicated. By tackling food waste at every level, on farms, in grocery stores, in restaurants, and in our own kitchens, we could dramatically reduce the strain on our food systems and make a significant dent in global hunger. Now, let's flip the script. Imagine you're in charge of feeding your community. You have 3 options: invest in a citywide food recycling program to combat waste, subsidize sustainable agriculture to help local farmers transition to eco-friendly practices, or fund urban farms to grow fresh produce in the heart of the city. What would you prioritize, and why? Which choice do you think would have the biggest impact where you live? These decisions aren't just hypothetical. Communities all over the world are already making these choices, and the results are inspiring. But let's not forget, change doesn't just happen at the policy level. It starts with us. Every decision we make as consumers sends a message about the kind of food system we want. When we choose seasonal produce, we reduce the environmental impact of transporting food across long distances. When we compost our food scraps, we divert organic waste from landfills, reducing methane emissions. And when we support companies that prioritize ethical practices, whether that's fair wages for workers, reducing plastic packaging, or using sustainable ingredients, we're driving demand for a better way of doing business. Think about it this way. Every meal is an opportunity to make a difference. Whether it's saving leftovers instead of tossing them, choosing a plant-based meal once a week, or buying from a local farmer, these small actions add up. Imagine the impact if millions of people made just one of these changes. The beauty of this transformation is that it doesn't require perfection. It's not about overhauling your entire diet or lifestyle overnight. It's about progress. Every step toward sustainability is a step toward a healthier planet and a brighter future. Today, we've explored the challenges and opportunities of feeding a growing planet. We've seen how traditional farming practices are straining our environment, how innovations like vertical farms and lab-grown meat are paving the way for sustainable solutions, and how ancient grains are making a modern comeback. We've also looked at the critical role of policies in driving change and the power of individual choices to shape a better food system. The food choices we make don't just nourish our bodies, they shape the world around us. They impact the health of the planet, the livelihoods of farmers, and the future of billions of people. By embracing innovation, supporting sustainable policies, and making mindful decisions, we can ensure that everyone has access to healthy, affordable food, now and for generations to come. What's one step you're taking, or want to take, to eat more sustainably? Whether it's composting, buying local, or reducing food waste, share your ideas in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And if this video made you think differently about your plate and its impact, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to PlanetariHub for more explorations into the hidden connections shaping our world. This is PlanetariHub, where curiosity meets action. See you next time.